Hey there and happy Monday. If you know me at all, I love Mondays and I usually get the most accomplished on Mondays. So it was kind of fun to dig into kind of a fun suite of products that I haven't done anything with yet. And that is the Peaceful Place suite from the holiday catalog. And I'm also kicking off the virtual stamp party for Deb Warwick too with card number 1. Trying to work on the iPad. My husband had a virtual meeting Friday and maybe it got drained, so maybe I'll just have to get all my cues and questions from my phone that I'm recording from. I'm just going to set it aside so it's not a distraction and get going. Hi there, Jane. Hi, Lisa. So do you ever have food that you save because you're so excited that you just want to save it and eat it later, or you buy a new outfit and you want to just save it for that special occasion? Hey there, Brenda. And I kind of feel that way about the Peaceful Place suite. And so you might go, Peaceful Place. It's kind of a vague name, but when I say the cabin, everybody's like, oh yes, the cabin. So I'm really excited to put this card together for you guys because I've been kind of saving the stamp set bundle, the pretty paper, the ribbons, the sequins. It just all comes together so pretty. So I kind of started and went in different directions with it, and finally when it came together, I'm like, this is how it should be. So let me get the camera turned around so that I can start making the card for you for Deb's party. And hello there, Julie and Joyce. Lots of J's on here all of a sudden. Jane, Julie, Joyce. Okay, so let's see if we get my workstation here. A lot of it in there. So oh yes, so Brenda, I love it when I hear that from people like, oh, I've been needing ideas, or I was going to get that, or I just got that. Or for hostesses, this would be a great half-price bundle to get the stamp set and dies and such too. And so here's the card that I'm making today, almost monochromatic with basic gray. But I really wanted to pop in some trees, and so I brought in a little bit of greenery there too. But actually this the trees are mossy meadow, and it's in the neutrals color family, so then is it still technically monochromatic? No. So no, I'm always trying to press my luck with different things. Hey there, Tori, good to see you on here. So where this is coming from is the mini catalog here, and the product layout starts on page 36, so you can see all sorts of pretty things done with the cabin and the tree dies, and I'm going to show you the tree dies in just a little bit. So there's the stamp set dies, and then that snowy white velvet sheets that I used with the cute penguins last week is from here. And then it's got pretty ribbons, sequins I'm using today, a great embossing folder that I'm not using today but will later, and the paper. Oh my goodness, you guys, I have to show you this paper. Because it is so pretty. Kind of like the whole thing last week, I went into depth with that Blackberry Beauty Designer Series paper. This is like right up there with it. So this is the piece that I'm using today. Let me get some maybe better light on here, and there's some sparkles. I don't know, maybe my sun or cloud cover's coming, my sun's disappearing, where there are sparkles in here. You just have to trust me. And then I just love this gray. It's kind of basic gray, smoky slate, and white checkered background. And then this piece here, I kind of already cut up because this, where is it, was what I was going to start my card with here. So I already have the pieces. So this is a 12 by 12 sheet, and I cut down into 6 by 6 and actually 4. So I was going to use this for a different card. This was going to be today's, and it just didn't come together like I wanted it to. But I also wanted to show you how you could cut this and make a card. So maybe for a future hostess, that will be what I come up with. And then the back side of this, here we go, this way, yeah, has kind of some like skinny trees on there in white and gray with that design. And then how pretty is this? This reminds me of when you go to the mall and you see those kiosks that have scenes, and then in the background you have the lights, so all those little things sparkle. And I feel like my camera's maybe not picking that up, hopefully it is, but that's all sparkly. So that's 12 by 12 with that scene. And then the back side just a little light smoky gray, you're definitely going to want to use this side. For those that scrapbook, it's a great design. And like I said, this is the one I'm using today. And then this is embossed silver. How cool is that, to have kind of that wood grain design, and it's all embossed in silver. And then the back side has a fun snow and tree scene. And then I love this, and like this could be fun for any type of like masculine design. I'm thinking too for people that scrapbook, if you had a special occasion and wanted to gussy it up, there's lots of silver embossing that shows through with this. And look at that, how peaceful is that, to have that whole scene be just a card front. Love it. And this I'm excited to work with. Can you tell I love this paper? I just want to cut this down the middle and then like put a sentiment, or maybe put that cabin in here, but the trees are all embossed in silver, and we can make card fronts. Like I've done one where I just cut panels and such that way. So I'm just excited to make more cards with this. And this just kind of has like a squiggly pattern there in gray too. So very, very pretty paper. Like I said, I was saving it only because I loved it that much. So the Peaceful Cabin stamp set, your kindness makes the world a more beautiful place to be. So kind of just nice sentiment to send for any kind of occasion. May you enjoy the peace of this beautiful season. So Brenda, that's on here, had said, hey, I want to use this for my Christmas cards. That would be a great sentiment for Christmas. There's a thank you for you and wishing you the best. And so there's lots of different occasions. Tree, cabin, fence, just a little bit of puff that you could have for the smokestack, a little fox it looks like, and some snowflakes. Now these are the dies too that I want to show you. I'm using this. This is actually from Stitched So Sweetly. So I'm going to put that aside so you don't get confused. I am using it on the card. So this one will cut out the cabin. So it kind of frames that cabin. So when you see that, it cuts it out, and you'll see when I use it, it only cuts out that. So you'll kind of have to gauge like how long you want your piece to be. If you want it to be that long, or that long. This only cuts across the top. There's no bottom. You choose your bottom. And same with the trees here. They cut out these trees. And you choose your length if you want the trees to be long on your piece of cardstock or not. And so I'm just kind of helping you out, because sometimes people are like, well, it didn't cut off at the bottom. You choose your bottom length, and it'll make maybe more sense as I cut it out as well. And then in here too, these little stars kind of just emboss your paper in little divots, which is really pretty for a subtle look. And then there's some skinny trees too that cut out. And then they also cut out here, if you can kind of see, there's 3 of them. So not only does it cut out the skinny tree, it also cuts out bits and pieces of the tree along the way, which I think is so cute. And then this, at first I was trying to match up this, like same thing. It just kind of like can go across the card, but I'm like, okay, it doesn't match up with that, because I thought maybe if it's a smokestack, why isn't it matching up there? It matches up with this little fox. And so if you want that to kind of be on the horizon, then you make that be where you cut it out, and then you choose your length that way. And so the fox can be what is on the horizon as well. Hi there, Lois. Hi, Marge. Hi, Sharon. So I wanted to point that one out because that's one I struggled with. And you can cut out the little fox. And then this cabin is kind of a different cut. It cuts out the cabin, but kind of in a different shape to kind of layer it. So it doesn't just cut out the cabin. The first one I did does that. This cuts out the fence. This makes a different fence. So if you want to have like a wooden fence versus a stamped fence and then cut it out, you can do that. So I think I've covered all of those, and I just want to make sure that I still have out the ones I'm going to use today too. There's a lot to these dies, which I love it when they give us a lot of extra pieces that aren't just the stamps and such too. So if you're just joining in like Becky is, this is the card that I'm making today for Deb's virtual stamp party card number 1. So let me kind of show you the color combination. Basic gray is going to be my card base here, and then I'm pulling in some of that really pretty Peaceful Place Designer Series paper with the sparkle in it, and just other than that, some white to stamp on, and then some mossy meadow to cut out my trees. So let me start with doing some stamping. And that is going to be, I just kind of did a 4 by 3 inch. Let me double check my measurements here because it doesn't look, that's 4 and that's 3. Yeah, it just didn't look very tall. It looked very narrow by 4 compared to the 3, but that's the size that I chose to start out my stamping. And I'm going to use basic gray, like so. Hey there, Lisa. Okay, thank you, Becky. Yeah, like I said, I'm gushing about this because I've been waiting to use this product, and I have no reason why I haven't before that. So I'm just going to kind of just put this cabin like so, and it's just going to sit right there kind of in the middle of this 4 by 3 inch piece, and then I'll set that aside. And then the sentiment, since I have my ink pad out and I'm stamping, I'm just going to stamp out wishing you the best. And Lisa's watching to see how I'll use a scrap today. I just had the scrap of my basic white, so I'm just going to stamp wishing you the best on there, and I'll set that aside and my ink pad aside, so that's out of the way. And I think I'm ready to die cut this. So with the cabin, you'll want to kind of cut this down a little bit to the size that you want, because what I noticed is I was just going to take like a long skinny piece and then just kind of let it play out how long I wanted it. But then I was having trouble. It'll still fit through here, but it's easier to just run it through this way right away. Isn't it fun, Marie? Marie loves this bundle too. Okay, so I'm going to put it this way, and then I'm just lining up the rooftop here like so, and I'll just slide that through. And this is where I kind of want to show you how it comes out. So that just comes off the top, and then you have that. So when I was explaining before that you pick the length you want, that's where that comes into play, because it's only going to cut it here and here, and it's not going to cut like around the base of the cabin. You could fussy cut it with a scissor, but you could also leave it longer. Oh good, Deb's on here too. It's Deb's party. I'm always thrilled when the hostess can make it, and she says she loves it, so that makes my day too. All right, so wishing you the best. This is where I'm pulling in. So far everything has been, I always like to show the name, has been from Cabin Dies, but this is from Stitch So Sweetly. So all those like scallop that cut, and also give you the stitching. It's kind of the tiniest die in the set, Stitch So Sweetly, and so many of you have that, and I love how it just kind of complemented the card, both in kind of style and size especially. So when I pop that out, then we have that scalloped and stitched in there too. So I'm just going to set that aside. Now here's the fun part of making the trees. So I have a 4 by 3.5 inch piece of mossy meadow, and here's that tree line. So it kind of just barely fits on there, and I'm just going to lay that down on my cut and emboss machine here and run that through. I'm going to end up running this through twice, and you'll see why. So there's one run through, and this also, I hope with repeating it'll make sense. That we just set aside, and then the trees, you pick how long you want it to be. Well, I don't want this one to be very long because it's going to stick out from underneath the side of my cabin if it gets to be too long. So I kind of just want it to be, you know, background, like so. And this looked kind of plain, guys. You know, I liked the pop of color that it gave the card, but I wanted something for the trees. So ta-da, Stampin' Up to the rescue. They already thought ahead. These dies are in that bundle, and you can see it just cuts out all those little tiny pieces. So you lay this on top of your tree. So the first pass is to cut out the trees. And then the second pass will be to give that detailed little etching, or I don't know, pock marks, or just the cool look to the trees, guys. So take those off, and voila, just like that, we have all those little pieces from that. So that's how that comes together, like so. And those pieces do fall out pretty easily. Otherwise, I just have my take your pick tool always at my fingertips, actually 2 of them. So I just pick out the little extra pieces like so. And then you have your landscape there too. So now I'm done die cutting, and the card actually comes together pretty easily. So when you look at it, you go, oh my goodness, that card looks like a lot of work. Yes, this took 2 passes. You have to line that up and kind of think through that, but it's not hard at all. Oh, thanks guys, lots of hearts. So, and Tori likes it too, yay. So next it's just taking and assembling this, and just putting some adhesive on the back sides of this. And I like my workspace because I can kind of just set things down and it won't totally stick. I don't have to commit right away. So I'm just going to put that on top of there like so. And then I can put some more adhesive on the bottom. Don't really want to put anything too much through those trees because it'll show, and then it'll look like we have sticky goop there. Thank you, Ruth. So fun to spend time with you today. I ran lots of errands, and it's always good to start Monday feeling like you're catching up and it's the first day of the week. So this I just put even with the bottom of this pretty designer series paper. I cut that 4 by 5 1/4, and this just sits at the bottom. And now kind of the scary part is I'm going to do more stamping on here, and we all know like you should do your stamping first and then cut, but I wanted to make sure that I knew where everything was going to set, and then I'm just going to have to be really careful because I can't tip it over and start again. So I loved this fence. I just thought it gave it really nice character. So I'm just going to put this fence kind of in the corner of the yard of the cabin. Doesn't that just make it look extra homey right from the get-go, like so? And then that cute little fox just kind of creeping in off to the side. It just adds so much, guys. I think it's so fun. Oh, thanks, Pam and Julie. Yes. Okay, so that's it for stamping, and then I can just finish assembling by tacking that down onto my card base, which again is basic gray. So ink pad's basic gray, the card base is basic gray, and it's amazing how all of this comes together with just one ink pad and such. So then for the sentiment, remember I stamped that out already, wishing you the best. And I'm just going to grab, oh, I'm down to just a couple anyway, couple dimensionals here. Good thing I don't need more. So I'm just going to put a couple dimensionals. Believe me, I have a stash off camera. Nobody's going to run out of dimensionals in this house. So I'm just going to pop that up like so. And neither one of these layers are popped up. You could, but just the way the trees sit without adhesive kind of gives that its own dimension and such too. So that's kind of nice. Lois loves the stamp set. You know, now that I see you say I love this stamp set, your daughter would love it too because Stacy loves trees. We all know Stacy loves trees. Yeah, and so Marie is like, so many fun designs you can do with this, and that's why I think I had so many ideas running through my head, it was hard to like pinpoint where do I start. So now I don't want to finish. So I didn't use these today, but in the suite of products is that fun glittery white organdy ribbon here. And so you could see where that would be so pretty with the cards. So I just kind of wanted to show it that way. And then other samples that I've been seeing have kind of backed this sometimes with basic black, and they kind of have a black version of the glitter organdy ribbon too. So that would be really pretty if you can think past my gray here to use the black on there as well. But what else comes in the suite that I want to show is the subtle shimmer sequins. And so I was trying to think if you guys can remember back to the ice cream card that I did, where I kind of just took this one layer and put it in a clear envelope and shook all the sequins that looked like ice cream sprinkles in there. That would be so fun to do with this card too. But I decided to just go to like putting a few on here. So, oh, Becky, yes, you're going to have to. Oh, there's 2 Beckys on here. Yes, Becky wants to order this now. Why do I do that to you guys, huh? Okay, so to put these sequins on, they're loose, so you're going to have to find some adhesive to put it on. So I like to just put some drops of this multi-purpose liquid glue. Other people call it the green glue, the Tombow glue, but just little tiny dots here and there. And then what I do is put on my glasses so I can see what I'm picking up kind of here too. And so with my take your pick tool, I'm gonna put a couple of the larger silver sequins on here like so. And then I wanna pick up a tiny one and just put that off to the side like so. And usually when I use this technique with the glue, I want it to sit a little bit before I just pop it in an envelope, because it does take a little bit longer to dry, and it's something that you want it to set really well before you put it in an envelope and such. So I just have little sparkly pieces like that, and I put about 5 of them on because 3 didn't seem like enough, and we have to have an odd number, so I thought that's kind of fun to have 5. So a lot of them are silver, and then the other are kind of just opaque-ish, kind of white, but off-white enough where it kind of sticks out too. So now they kind of look like blobs until the glue dries. So here's what it looks like when the glue dries, and it looks a little bit more professional there. And then the other thing then next that I wanted to add was I was seeing sparkles from the sequins. I was seeing sparkles from the paper. So Deb, my hostess, has this just innate, like inborn thing where she loves sparkles, and she gets it from her mom. Her mom is Sparkle Queen, and we all love her mom for that. So I'm going to take my Wink of Stella, which I can tell when it comes to this time of year and Christmas just around the corner, I go through barrels of my Wink of Stella because it just adds so much to cards like this to be able to add that. So I'm just kind of loosely brushing this over. And it doesn't take any dry time. I'm going to put it where the snow would appear on the roof. And you just kind of give it a gentle squeeze. You don't want to squeeze it too much, otherwise you have a mess that doesn't look sparkly anymore. It actually kind of takes on like a tan look if you get too much on. I would say it looks like a mercury thermometer exploded on your project. So I'm just kind of going over that card kind of lawn front there too. And then I never know if my camera is going to pick that up well or not. But believe me, it's sparkling on the trees, and it's sparkling on my roof, and it's sparkling a little bit on the lawn too. And Deb says so true. Yeah, if you've ever seen one of her mom's cards, they are amazing. Like I save it every year when she sends out her Christmas cards, because I've never seen a card that looks so gorgeous, have so much glitter and sparkle to it. So hopefully this is worthy for sparkliness that way. And if not, I hope you just like the card today. So I had a lot of fun putting that together, but I still have to finish the inside for you guys. So I'm just taking a sheet of basic white here. And because this says wishing you the best, it could follow through with like a Christmas theme, because there are Christmas words in the stamp set and such. But because wishing you the best is pretty plain and simple, I'm just going to do trees. So you'll have to be careful. These trees that are in the stamp set are all together. If you squish your ink pad really hard, you're going to get ink on here around the edges. So I just tap it. And that's also one reason why I'm not stamping like this, because I feel like I have more control if I put it upright and just give it a quick little tap. My teammate Stacy always says dot dot, not a lot, and that just holds so true. So here we have the trees stamped out once again in the basic gray, And I'm just going to tack that down with my seal, like so. And my seal's getting down there, so I'm glad to finish the card so you guys didn't have to watch me put a new spool in, which I never feel like that's a bad thing, because sometimes seeing how easy it is to put that on there is also a nice thing for you guys to know too. So there it is. Thank you, Pam. I was excited to bring you this card today. Let me get my camera turned around. So that starts off our week. It starts off our party with Deb Warwick with card number 1. And I have the host code there for any of you that are interested in ordering through her party. So the next couple days I'll be doing cards 2 and 3. And I'm really encouraged to do that because all of a sudden the end of this week, Stampin' Up's putting together a virtual event for leaders. And I really want to have all my cards done so that Thursday, Friday, and Saturday I can enjoy the conference that Stampin' Up is putting together for us online. And last year I got so much out of it, and the more I get out of it, the more I can pass through to you guys too. Thank you, Missy. Yeah, I enjoyed the card too. And so yeah, the next couple days I'll be doing card 2 and 3. So if you order through Deb's party using the code, then of course you'll get the 3 cards that I make for her party as a thank you from Deb and I for ordering. So take care, have a good rest of your evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.